So the Toronto Maple Leafs, they've made some nice additions in this free agency. The one thing that will be interesting to see is currently, as constructed, they're $8 million over the cap. Now, they're gonna obviously manipulate it and make some moves to become compliant, but that is something to be noted. There's gonna be either a player or players moved to make this fit. Now, let's talk about the additions. They brought in John Klingberg, defenseman who's played in a few destinations. He's played for Dallas, played for Anaheim, and for Minnesota towards the back end of last year. He's a quality defenseman when he's in the right system and helps give the Maple Leafs a little bit more depth defensively. So I like this addition for them. Ryan Reaves, good fourth line player. Is he gonna wow you? Absolutely not, but he's a big physical presence that doesn't take crap from anybody. And it's interesting, out of all the free agents they've signed, he is the only one that got a multi-year deal, and he's signed until 2026. And then they bring in another addition of Max Domi at a 1-year, $3 million deal. He played pretty solid. In 80 games last season, he had 20 goals, 36 assists for 56 points. Now, I would be remiss not to mention, Chicago, he was far more productive because he was one of the only few talented players on that roster. In 60 games, he had 49 points. But then when he was moved to Dallas for a playoff push, in 20 games played, he only had 7 points. Now, that's not horrific offensive production, but it does make me wonder, will Domi thrive not being the number one option? And then to cap off yesterday, they ended up signing Tyler Bertuzzi to a 1-year, $5.5 million deal. Bertuzzi, when healthy, has the potential to be a 30-goal scorer. He proved that in the 21-22 season, when in 68 games played, he had 30 goals, 32 assists for 62 points. He is a very good player that has some grit to him. Last season, in 50 games played, he had 8 goals, 22 assists for 30 points. And in Boston, he found his game, because in 21 games with Boston last season, after the deadline, he had 4 goals, 12 assists for 16 points. An underrated aspect, I would say, of Bertuzzi's game is his phenomenal playmaking ability and just knowing how to get time and space to set up other players. I was surprised he ended up signing a 1-year deal with Toronto, but this adds some nice additional grit that I think the Leafs are looking to add. I say overall, I gotta give the Leafs an A thus far for these signings. I think Klingberg's a quality defenseman. Bertuzzi is a very good player in his own right. Max Domi is a great player that can play center and left wing. And then Ryan Reaves adds a fourth line guy that has a bit of toughness to him. Will this get them over the hump? I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna see what they do to make space, who they're trading, because as I mentioned, they're currently $8 million over the cap. And even if Jake Muzzin is done for the rest of his career, that's only a $5.625 million cap hit. They're going to have to find ways to make this fit under the cap. But yeah, I'd have to say, very impressed thus far. I think the Leafs have done a really good job adding an extra dimension to their team. And if I'm a Maple Leafs fan, I got to be pretty excited what I'm seeing. But I would love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you love these signings, hate these signings, kind of lukewarm to them? Let me know down below. I'm Captain Paul, and I'll see you in the next one.